Well, I had to come up with something after a title like that. Elvis cannot leave the building. So I came up with a title. I thought it was really clever. And then I had to figure out, well, how am I going to make this streaming fit in with that? You got to be careful about when you come up with an idea and then all of a sudden you have to do the idea. So let me explain something. So maybe there's 3 people out of however many are watching right now that really don't know why Elvis can't leave the building is funny. So the phrase, Elvis has left the building, everyone has heard that many, many times. So I looked up on Wikipedia, and I'd like to read this to you, some of the things that it said on Wikipedia. Elvis has left the building is a phrase that was often used by public address announcers at the conclusion of Elvis Presley concerts in order to disperse the audience who lingered in hopes of an encore. The phrase was first used by promoter Horace Logan at the Shreveport Municipal Memorial Auditorium in Louisiana on December 15th, 1956. Elvis had appeared in the middle of the night's lineup, and Logan needed to quiet the audience so that the remaining performers could play. The full quotation was, all right, Elvis has left the building. I've told you absolutely straight up to the point. You know that he has left the building. He left the stage and went out the back with the policeman, and he is now gone from the building. You think they got the point? Throughout the 1970s, the phrase was captured on record several times. Would be spoken by some of Presley's backup singers to calm the audience after the concerts. The phrase has since become a catchphrase and punchline, used to refer to anyone who has exited in some sense. When singing Tossed Salad and Scrambled Eggs, the closing theme to the television series Frasier, Kelsey Grammer sometimes followed the last line with the statement, Frasier has left the building. So Elvis cannot leave the building. That explains it. Now to follow it up further, I figured I better do an Elvis song. And what better Elvis song to do than You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog. However, I thought, since I've never sung this before, and I'm not Elvis Presley, I don't know if you've noticed, why don't we do a sort of a sing-along where you guys sing to this? We'll call it a Corky-okey, like sort of a Corky-okey, you know what I mean? A karaoke kind of a Corky-okey thing. So you'll help me out, okay? Promise? Okay. But a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, and you're crying all the time. Well, you ain't cat rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You say you was high class, well that was just a lie. You say you was high class, well that was just a lie. Well, you ain't caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. But nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. You say you was high class, that was just a lie. You say you was high class, well that was just a lie. Oh, you ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. Let's do that together, what's fun?
Nothing but a hound dog,
crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well,
ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of
mine. You say you was high class, that was just a lie. You say you was high class, well that was just a lie. You ain't never caught a rabbit and you ain't no friend of mine. There you go. You notice I'm in my pajamas. I slept late. We just rushed right into this. So, another story. So I was asked to do a performance in Los Angeles by a very good friend. And he wanted to put this performance again together. And he wanted to call it Corky Meets Corky. Is that, what was
Corky
it? Corky
Meets Corky.
Corky Meets Corky.
Mm-hmm.
And now, of course, what was interesting is I play harp, and this other Corky in LA also plays harp.
Yes, although the other Corky that plays harp, she plays the kind of harp that the angels play, while my baby here plays the kind of harp the devil plays.
Yeah.
So
they thought that would be interesting. But of course, I never met this person. And I was a little concerned about what kind of music she played. Is it the kind of thing that we could do a whole concert together? And so I gave her a call. And I said, Corky, this is Corky. Her name was Corky Hale. And I said, Corky, what kind of music do you play? Because I, of course, knew she played harp. She said, well, Corky, immediately she said this, I also play the piano. I said, well, what have you done? What kind of things do you do? She says, well, I was the accompanist for Barbra Streisand. I'm going, oh my God. I was the accompanist for Billie Holiday. I was the accompanist for Tony Bennett.
wow.
Mel Torme. Peggy Lee. Oh, and Corky, I also sing. I was a singer for what's his name? Oh, Harry James. Harry James, the famous trumpet. I was a singer for the Harry James Orchestra. So I go, Corky, this is way above my play scale. I said, but Corky, she said, don't you play the blues? I said, well, yeah. She said, well, can you do Kansas City? And I went, well, yeah, sure. She says, oh, my husband wrote that song. She said, can you do Stand By Me? Stand By Me? Yeah, I could do Stand By Me. She said, my husband wrote that song. She said, can you do Hound Dog? And I went, yes. She says, my husband wrote that song. Thinking, oh my God, who is your husband? Of course, her husband is Mike Stoller of Stoller and Lieber. considered one of the greatest songwriting teams in pop music history. Wow. He also wrote all these songs. I have a little list of some of the songs he wrote. All these Elvis Presley songs. Love Me, Loving You, Don't, Jailhouse Rock, Santa Claus is Back in Town, which I love that song. And he did almost all of the Coaster songs, and I was like a major fan of the Coasters. He did Yakety Yak and Poison Ivy, which the Rolling Stones did. On Broadway. Is That All There Is? Love Potion Number 9. Searchin', There Goes My Baby for the Drifters. Just unbelievable. And she says, well, when you're in LA, come stop by and we could talk. And so we went to LA and we had breakfast with Corky Hale and Mike Stoller. Well, let's show them the picture. Corky Hale. That was about 1950. And then, if I do this right, there's Mike Stoller. Unbelievable.
Is that Lieber on the right?
It probably, yeah, sure.
Yes.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Very cool.
So, yeah, that was a Lieber on the right, yes. I have to remember to speak up. My voice is quiet. It doesn't always carry. And Holly's giving me these things. So, yes, that was Stoller and Lieber with Elvis Presley, in case you didn't recognize the guy in the middle. So, I'm sitting there, and I say to Mike Stoller, I say, Mike, do you believe this? I'm sitting here with Mike Stoller.
You're a hero.
Yeah, exactly. You're a hero. And I'm just. And he says, well, Corky, I've been following you. I'm a fan of yours. And I'm going, oh, man. He said, I knew William Russo, and I love those symphonic works that you guys did together. Da, 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 da. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Anything else to say, Howard?
It's one of the best days ever.
One of the best days. One of the best days. Okay. What should we do? Oh, speaking of songwriting, now I have a song. I gotta get some water.
Pirouette.
I have a song I really love. Actually, when I write songs, at least when I started right around in the 70s, there was a point where I don't feel like I wrote a song I didn't love. If I didn't love it, why put it out there, But this one is really one of my favorites. And because it's one of my favorites, I will share the lyrics with you first. Because then you could not have to worry. It's called Emmylou. It really is. You could hear it on the Solo Flight CD. It's like one of my favorite performances. Jim Tullio is playing on it. And
what does Jim play?
He was playing upright bass. Oh. Just brilliant job. And then my violin teacher from Roosevelt University, who was the concertmaster for the Lyric Opera, Everett Mersky, who said I was the worst student he ever had. I had him play on my record. What
were you learning from Everett?
Violin.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that explains a lot.
And then there was Al Porth, played all the flutes on the record, the late Al Porth. And there you go. So this is called Emmylou. It was a cauliflower morning. Well, first, you know what a cauliflower morning is? It's you wake up in the morning, all the clouds. It's like the sky is filled with these cauliflower pods, like sheep's wool, just okay. It was a cauliflower morning, all cast in gray and blue. You came with little warning, through the daffodil and dew. The sun rose right behind me. My shadow fell on you. And my shoestrings came undone when you touched me, Emmylou. The rolling hills kept rolling. I swear they rolled away. The wind kept right on blowing till it finally blew itself away. My heart kept my heart kept pounding.
Nice sound effect.
Let me in, I know you care. And I melted into gravy with your fingers in my hair. Lying in magnetic fields, my heart went racing on an oval track. And when you wrapped your love around me, I nearly had a heart attack. Oh, Emmylou, 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 Emmylou. I'm so attracted to you. Is this really real? Come on, Emmy. What's the deal? It was a cauliflower morning, all cast in gray and blue. You came with little warning through the daffodil dew. The sun rose right behind me, and my shadow fell on you. Then my shoestrings came undone when you touched me, Emmylou. The rolling hills kept rolling. I swear they rolled away. The wind kept right on blowing till it finally blew itself away. My heart kept pounding. Let me in, I know you care. Then I melted into gravy with your fingers in my hair. Lying in magnetic fields, my thoughts went racing on an oval track. And when you wrapped your love around Emmylou, 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 Lou. I'm so attracted to you. Is this really real? Come on, Emmy. What's the deal? There you go.
Woo! Beautiful.
Thank you, everybody.
Beautiful.
I think we can call that a day. But first, let me remind those who haven't signed up or subscribed for the newsletter free to do so, because as I explained last time, social media is there for a purpose. The social media platforms, they're there to make money for the social media platforms. And they're there not to keep friends connected. That's how they make money. So the newsletter, when you sign up, I have a list of all, right now, about 3,200, what we call super fans.
Cousins.
Because, what?
Cousins.
Well, yeah, we call them cousins. More than, because, well, the social media platforms call them super fans because they signed up. I didn't like beg them to sign up. So I'm not begging you, but I'm just suggesting that if you sign up, I could stay in touch. I could let you know about all these things that I'll do online and all the CDs that are in my music shop. And, when we do live concerts, you'll know about them whenever that is going to be. So from the greater from Edgewater, which we call the greater Mr. Rogers Park area, we say have a wonderful day in the neighborhood, and we bid you, Holly and I, let's do a, yes, oh, there she is.
We bid you a very fond
We
farewell.
bid you adieu, we bid you adieu, and we'll see you
And
Friday.
it's 73 degrees out there, so
Friday at
That's some
11:20
sunshine.
a.m.
we love you all.
Thank
Stay
you for
safe.
tuning in.
Stay well.
Bye.
Keep happy.